The Hawks are led by head coach Casey Preitzberg and assistant Kelsey Baker.
All right, I think we're ready to go here in the press box here at the Walker Athletic Complex. Welcome, everybody, to the broadcast. It's the Huntingdon Hawks and the Piedmont Lions in the first round of the USA Southwest Division softball playoffs. Winner of this will move on to the championship conference series, the conference championship series, that is, rather, coming up next week. I'm Troy Wyman alongside Mario D'Alessandro here for Game 1 of 2 here today. Game 3 tomorrow if necessary. Had some difficulties getting things started up here. Big transition after women's lacrosse, who fell in the conference championship game to Meredith, just back behind us. Leading off for the Hawks, that was Brooke Stefankowitz, who bunts one foul to start the game. She's facing Emma McBrayer in the circle for the Lions.
McBrayer had a stellar outing last time. 7 2/3 inning pitch, 8 hits, 1 run. Not a single one was earned last time against these Hawks, Troy.
Yep, these teams have already split a doubleheader once this season, as this one goes outside for a ball. That was an interesting doubleheader, to say the least.
Oh, my gosh. 9 errors the Lions gave up and somehow found a way to split. That's how you know you're just good when you don't even have your fastball. You can win a series like that.
McBrayer delivers that one up and out of the zone. Count goes to 2-1 now. Yeah, it was not by any means, really by either team, a clean series. There was a lot of unearned runs, a lot of errors. And they ended up getting a split, which seemed fitting after all of that.
Yeah.
McBrayer delivers that one. That one's bunted toward first. They're going to let it roll. Smart play, and it's going to go foul. Good communication there by the catcher. That's Hannah Morgan, making sure nobody picked that ball up. If they do pick it up in fair territory, Stefankowicz probably has a base hit.
Yep. And this is, I hate to say this about the girl because she has a tremendous speed, but she's a one-trick pony. She can't put the ball anywhere outside of this little, probably 20-foot radius in front of Emma McBrayer. That's why you can see the Lions charging so hard in on her.
Yeah, all 3 infielders on the left side are really playing in, as that one's going to be called a strike 3. McBrayer changed up the pace there, and she gets her first strikeout of the game. Good start for the freshman.
Yeah, very nice pitch by Emma. Has 4 pitches in her arsenal. Doesn't throw any exceptionally well. She is effectively wild, but can hit you with a bunch of different options, and there she goes with the changeup on a 2-2 count.
That brings up Emma Bauer now, the Hawks center fielder, number 28. Takes that one low for a ball. Hawks wearing the all red today. Red tops, red pants, red socks with the red helmets as well. Piedmont, their home whites, which we don't see very often. Normally they're in the sort of the gray camos. McBrayer delivers another one low and away. That's a ball. It's 2-0.
Same type of jersey, though, so I can say it's a nice-looking jersey game.
It is. I enjoy, especially softball, when it's the solid color on the solid color, like the red on red. It looks good.
Yep.
It's really popping here today, this afternoon. McBrayer falls behind 3-0. Didn't get the call on the outer part there.
One thing her pitching coach Taylor Waldrop mentioned: if Emma gets ahead early and limits the walks to at least only 2, she's going to be very successful here today.
Delivers that one, gets a 3-0 strike call. Now it's 3-1. And McBrayer, she started the season, her last few outings, I don't think she's walked a single hitter, maybe 1 walk in her last 3 outings. She started to calm down a little bit, was really racking them up early in her freshman season. But she's toned them down a little bit as she gets another call there, and she's worked the count back to full after starting out 3-0 to Emma Bauer.
Yeah, Bauer. Also, the top 2 hitters in this lineup, both freshmen, both the best 2 players for the Hawks, which is going to make them deadly for the years to come. Bauer, a very good 2-hole hitter.
Full count delivery lined and caught over there at third base. That's Caitlin Isley. And there's 2 away. Set the defense real quick. We got started a little quickly. Emma McBrayer on the mound, and Hannah Morgan, we mentioned, is the catcher. Left to right on the infield, that's Isley and Drew Graham at short. The senior TK Sauls at second, and Kara Taylor, the freshman, at first. Left to right in the outfield, it's Perry, Stegmeyer, and Smith, per usual. First pitch to the 3-hitter there, that's Emily Neustraten. And I looked down, I don't know what the call was. I looked down at my scorecard, and I didn't see the call.
0-1. There you go, Troy.
There we go. Thank you, everyone. The 0-1 delivery, that's on the outer half, called a strike, and it's 0-2 now.
Emma working ahead so far. 2 of the 3 batters. That's a good start for the freshman on the mound here.
Getting ahead early, that's a big key for McBrayer. This one's hammered down the left field line, but it's going to go way foul, so just a long strike. Neustraten staying alive.
Key, if you're a Huntington fan here, is the 3 through 8 hitters. They're 1 and 2, Stefankowicz and Bauer, very successful. And Lydia Lewis down at the bottom of the lineup, good job of turning it over. The 3 through 8 is where they lack on the season.
Neustraten, the shortstop. The junior takes one up and out of the zone. It's 1-2. Just getting underway here at the Walker Athletic Complex in Demorest, Georgia. McBrayer delivers a 1-2. It's up and it's 2-2 now.
Kind of what I was talking about, Troy. 3 for 5 with Stefankowicz in the prior series. Bauer 2 for 8. The rest of the hitters, only 7 hits to boat in those 2 games.
Yeah, it was a top-heavy production there for sure, as this one's fouled and she stays alive yet again. McBrayer has her sign, delivers the 2-2. It's a changeup, misses just high. Second straight batter she's run a full count to. Different different approaches. O'Bauer was up 3-0, and she managed to get an out. This time she had New Stroughton down 0-2, and New Stroughton's worked it full.
The key was getting ahead early, but she's got to stay ahead now.
She's going to try to do just that. Delivers that one, and it's again smoked down the left field line, but well foul.
She's been on it so far, New Stroughton. I remember early in the first time that they played, they were taking first pitches, and they were lacing them. They got to Emma early, but was able to avoid any kind of disaster early on.
New Stratton's been all over it here. Get another 3-2. She hits it out towards short, and it's past Drew Graham. It's going to be a base hit. Stegmeyer's going to try to cut it off, and she does, but she's not able to get it back in time, and New Stratton's got the first hit of the game. It's a double.
Yeah, not the best angle for Becca. They're playing deep because, New Stroughton laced both of those balls there, but kind of hitting in no man's land as Perry was playing much closer to the line, so that gap was kind of in no man's land. I guess it's technically a gap shot, but New Stroughton able to Cadillac into second there.
Yeah, pretty well hit up the middle toward that left center gap, and if you're Perry, you kind of had to play over there. She was lacing it foul, so you had to play her to pull.
Absolutely.
New Stratton's 2-out double. That extends the inning. It brings up the DP, Hannah Vines. Vines out toward short. Graham fields across the diamond to Taylor, and that's the third out of the inning. The Piedmont Lions work a clean top of the first inning. They're coming up for their first attempt to put some runs on the board. Stegmeyer, Isley, Perry will get things started in the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first inning here at the Walker Athletic Complex. Tie ball game after the top of the first. Piedmont coming up for their first attempt. It's Stegmeyer, Isley, and Perry, a very familiar 1-2-3 top of the order. Going to get things started for Piedmont. They'll be followed by Emma McBrayer, the pitcher batting cleanup, Kara Taylor, and Mackenzie Davis, who's the DP. And then 7-8-9 is Smith, Morgan, and Sauls.
Yeah, it's going to be important today on the mound. Melton really dominated the Lions last time, so they're going to have to adjust to that changeup, which hit the outside all day last time.
First pitch swinging, Stegmeyer right back up the middle. Melton gloves it, but she's not able to make a play. That should be, well, I think that might be a base hit. It was hit pretty well. Not sure how it'll be scored. It is a base hit.
Caitlin Isley.
She put a glove on it, but if she fields it, it's probably an out, but you can't expect her to make that. Stegmeyer hit it pretty hard.
Very hard. Becca typically one that bunts down around, and they actually shifted her the last time they played, not doing it today, although I think it would be a good idea to shift on Becca because she hits to the left side a lot. But, yeah, she tagged that right up the middle there, Troy.
That's Stegmeyer's 24th hit of the season. She got 25 runs to go with that as Isley digs in and takes a ball to start her at bat.
Isley, the hottest hitter for either team, not named Stefankowitz last time. She was 3 for 7, had a ribby in the series against Huntingdon, and loves that 5-6 hole over there. New Stroughton going to have to be quick over there with Nolan.
Melton delivers a 1-0, and it's hit foul down the third baseline. Head coach Terry Martin with the very he didn't give that much of an attempt. Stuck an arm out, but he didn't actually want to field that.
He's got old bones there.
he stuck the right hand at it as if he was going to make a play, but he was 10 feet from it.
It's the old college try.
Yep. Foul ball from Isley makes it 1-1 now. Stegmeyer over at first after a leadoff single. Melton's 1-1. Isley squares to bunt. She fouled it straight back.
Looks like they might be testing Annie Nolan there down at third. Very good. Had the only error in the last series, but was very good by all accounts down at third. A great glove at the hot corner for the Hawks.
Yeah, she's played well over at third base, so has Isley, who's up at the plate now. A couple of very good hot corner players in this game. As Isley sets for the 1-2, and she takes it outside to make it 2-2. Isley batting .364 coming into this game. 24 hits, 8 of them have been extra base hits. I think she's got 4 doubles and 4 triples.
Yes, you are right. 4 doubles, 4 triples. Not a homer. Do it now.
The 2-2 swung on, hit hard toward third. Great play over there across the diamond. Not scooped out, though. A little bit of a low throw. Isley's going to reach. Annie Nolan, we were just talking about her. She made a great play just to get that ball. I mean, that was ticketed for the left field corner, but she snagged it backhanded, but the throw over to first was a little bit low.
Yeah, I think they'll probably score that an error on the first baseman, unable to scoop that ball. Could be on the throw because it did bounce a little bit in front of Kathy over there at first, but either way, that's 2 runners on the rocks for Perry.
That's dangerous if you've been watching Piedmont softball this season. Giving Caitlin Perry RBI chances. You don't want to give her many of those in a game, but she squares to bunt here. She gets it down right back to Melton, and she makes the play over to first. So Perry's going to be retired on a sacrifice bunt just when we think we know what's coming. Yeah. Terry Martin doesn't care who's up at the plate. Caitlin Perry comes in hitting .475 with 32 RBIs, and he says, no, we're moving runners over. We're going to make a big inning out of this. That's good, smart baseball, I think, or softball, no matter how you phrase it.
If McBrayer, you put 2 runners in scoring position for your 4-hitter, I'll take that all day. I don't know if the analytics crew would love taking the bat out of her hands there, but hey, runners in scoring position, so that's what you're
the future of baseball, softball stats of launch angle and trying to get under the ball and hit home runs, they'd hate what just happened.
Yes. Then again, she's the one that can hit the ball over the fence with her eyes closed. So, I would have liked to seen her swing away there. But, hey, this is what you want to do. You have the best pitching staff in the entire conference, bar none. You just would probably need to give them 2 or 3, Troy. So, you know what? I actually agree with that. Now I'm talking about it more.
McBrayer is up in the count 1-0 right now, and she swings at that one, just missed, and it's straight back. Another good point here. We talked about it earlier. These Lions did not score the last time they faced Lauren Melton. No. They were shut out. It was a 1-0 game, so they've got a chance to hang a crooked number up on her right off the bat. You've got to take advantage of that.
And she had 9 Ks last time, 5 hits. She's already given up, I think, 2 hits or at least 1 if they didn't give that Isley one.
You got 1 hit, I believe, so far, and this one is going to skip in there again. Good eye from McBrayer, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, apologize a little bit if we don't have hits, balls, and strikes on. Our scoreboard is completely out today. It's on the fritz, so we're going to do whatever we can here today.
We think we've had too much rain recently. It's got some water damage in it, so it is what it is. We're doing what we can without it, and we're doing our best. We're going to make it work one way or the other. McBrayer hits that one off the fist, and it's flown out towards second base. That's Molly Singletary to make the play.
Now that at bat right there could magnify the bunt. If they do not get any of these runs in, that bunt probably looks a little bit on the negative side for Terry Martin there. Hopefully he can get vindicated here by Kara Taylor.
Yep, that makes 2 outs now. Not what you're looking for from McBrayer. Got jammed a little bit on that swing. 2 outs now. 2 runners on. That's Stegmeyer at third, Isley at second, as Taylor takes up and in for a ball. Big opportunity here for the freshman. It feels like, just based on the last time Piedmont faced off against Melton, you've got to take advantage of an opportunity where you've got 2 runners in scoring position, and they had 1 out at the time. The 1-0, Taylor's going to take it for a strike.
Nice pitch there by Melton.
Taylor batting .324 entering this game. 24 hits, 15 RBIs. Slugging percentage of .432. Got her down in the 5-hole today for a reason, for these opportunities to drive in runs. Off the end of the bat a little bit. Melton's had a little issue with it. Gets up and makes the play just in time over to first. Thought maybe for a second she was going to get it lost down around her feet, but she recovered just in time, and she managed to get herself out of a jam there. Piedmont leaves 2 stranded here in the bottom of the first, but we go to the second. It's tied 0-0. You're listening to Piedmont College Athletics on the Main Event Broadcasting Network on YouTube. Top of the second inning here at the Walker Athletic Complex. McBrayer's first pitch to Molly Singletary is fouled down the left field line.
This is kind of the spot in the lineup where it was not prolific enough. Neustraught was basically the bottom of that string of the top 4 or top 3 that were doing good for the Hawks in the first series. This is where they have to pick it up.
Singletary takes one up and out of the zone. It's 1-1. Singletary batting 5th here, so right in the middle of that Hawks batting order. McBrayer worked around a 2-out double in the top of the first. Came away unscathed as she gets a swing and a miss there on a pitch low and away and gets ahead 1-2, which we mentioned in the top of the first too. She's doing a little bit better job of getting ahead and staying ahead with some hitters. Had a couple full counts in that first inning, but she managed to work through them. The 1-2 here on the outer part of the plate, and it's called strike 3. That's McBrayer's second strikeout of the game.
There we go. That's what you want to see. Not a walk yet. Or did she give up a walk in the first?
Nope.
Did not give up a walk. Okay. Not a walk yet. Couple strikeouts. That is very positive early from Emma McBrayer.
She's got 4 outs. 2 of them are strikeouts so far. No walks. And that one's going to bring up Lydia Lewis playing left field today. She squares to bunt, and it goes back into the fencing. And again, McBrayer up 0-1 in the count.
Lewis was very good out of the 9-hole last time, so I think head coach, I don't have the name down for Huntingdon, is probably looking to play a little hot streak and knew kind of what kind of hitter Lewis was. I'm sorry, that's Case Kritzenberg. She's looking to probably see that Lewis had a very good game last time. She actually had 2 of the runs that were actually scored in that entire series for Huntingdon, which only had 4. And I thought she was the second best hitter behind Neustraught in the first series that they played against them.
Not sure what this conference here was about for Terry Martin.
Well, Terry took advantage.
I'm blocked down here on the left. My mistake.
Yeah, took advantage because Huntingdon had their meeting, and Terry knows he gets a free mound visit. He'll always.
He knows the rules. He absolutely
is the
rules. He always knows if they're talking, I get to talk too. McBrayer, this one's low and outside.
And what I actually think just happened there, I think the third base coach has actually seen Emma McBrayer's pitches before they're even being thrown. She can show it a little bit on her glove hand, and they've actually been working on that. So watch for something that she's maybe picking up out of the glove of McBrayer.
This one outside, it's a ball. Yeah, don't want to be tipping pitches here, especially in a playoff game like this is, and a best-of-3 series. Winner moves on to the conference championship game, or the championship series, rather. You can't afford to give any tips to these hitters for the Hawks in this one, as this one's outside for a ball yet again. 3-1 the count here to Lydia Lewis. McBrayer's going to have to battle back here. The wind and the delivery. Outer part of the plate, and she gets the call.
Gave her that, Troy?
Mm-hmm.
We'll take it. That's going to be a key for both
We
pitchers.
see that get called a lot, though. I feel like
Yes.
that, sort of up and away the outer half of the plate. A lot of umpires in this league like to give that, and to credit to the pitching staffs that, use it to your advantage. This one lower, outer third, and it's called a strike yet again. The outer part of the plate working for McBrayer. Back-to-back backwards Ks in your scorebook, and she's got 2 away in the second.
Beautiful job. Just as Troy was saying it, on cue, that's an announcer's reverse jinx. She hits that outside corner again 2 straight times.
See, those don't get highlighted as often. I like that
They
we
should.
pointed that out. I feel like we always highlight it when they said, oh, she got a no-hitter. Oh, she gave up a hit.
Yeah.
We got to highlight the good ones, too.
There you go. Well, I'm going to highlight it for you there, buddy. Everybody listen. Troy called it.
I appreciate that. First pitch to Annie Nolan was up and out of the zone. Her first appearance of the game, the third baseman for the Hawks. Takes another one outside for ball 2.
Nolan 1 for 5 in the series prior, and as I said, had a stellar defensive showing at third base in the first time these two teams met.
Batting .231 entering this game. She lines that one out towards short, but Drew Graham is there to make the grab. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Hawks. McBrayer works a clean one, and the Lions are going to come up in the bottom of the second. 0-0 the score. Bottom of the second inning here in Demorest. First pitch to the DP, Mackenzie Davis, is called a strike. Davis wearing number 29 today in those all-white Piedmont uniforms that we gave some love to earlier.
Hey, a little testament to how Mackenzie Davis was hitting 230 back when these teams played a couple weeks ago. Now 300. Been the hottest bat besides Isley in the lineup.
Good eye there, too. Took that one inside for a ball. It's 1-1 now. Yeah, absolutely good point. Davis hitting 321 hits so far this season. 10 runs and 10 ribbies. Lauren Melton's going to deliver the 1-1, and it skips in there for a ball.
Much to the appeal of John Winters down there at first base. If you can Google David Pasternak outdoor game, John Winters wearing the same kind of shades, those 80s vibe that looks like when you're going down a ski hill.
Well, it's a beautiful day in Denver, so, I mean, he's ready for it. He's fitting all the vibes. Mm-hmm. Davis swings at an off-speed pitch there, and it evens the count at 2-2. Those things are bright and reflective, you're right.
Very.
Got a little orange tint to them with a little neon green frame.
Sunglasses pit markers.
2-2 the count. Melton fires, and it's low and inside, and it's going to run the count full now.
Melton, just like McBrayer, an effectively wild pitcher, has not been so today, as McBrayer has been pretty clean. Ran into some trouble in the first inning, but has so far gotten ahead of hitters, but just like McBrayer, fallen into these full counts.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those so far. Should have kept a tally. I already forgot how many we've seen. Davis is going to take the full count pitch up and out of the zone. She draws the game's first walk. She finds her way on base to lead off this bottom of the second inning.
Now batting the right fielder, number 24, Hannah Smith.
Davis walks, brings up the right fielder, Hannah Smith. 261 batting average, 18 hits, 18 runs so far this season. Gets on base at a .354 percentage. Smith has been one of the hotter players this later half of the season, too, for the Lions.
Absolutely.
First pitch to her, she squares to bunt and takes it for a strike on the outer half.
Kreitzberg had her infield all three on the left side for every slapper in the first meeting. Smith literally dribbled one down to first base and totally caught them in between. And now, good job by her adjusting, doing a more traditional setup this time.
Smith squares to bunt again. Pulls that one back, but again called a strike. Outer half.
Yeah, Terry Martin, I think, is telling Hannah she's jabbing at it a little bit and then pulling back. You cannot have that jab. If you do, they're automatically going to say that's an offer.
And you just got to keep it steady, the mechanic part of it, too. And she takes that one outer part of the plate, called strike three. 3 pitches all in the outer part, and she didn't offer at one of them, and she's going to go down on strikes.
Yeah, lead runner on first, and you have somebody that is very prolific at bunting. That's going to chap Terry Martin's backside every time. Go down 3 straight pitches, didn't even really offer at one.
We just mentioned it in that last half inning, too. They're calling that outer half, and as a lot of umpires do, and Smith right there, you got a taste of it. Outer half, and Melton lived there that whole at-bat. Yeah. Catcher Hannah Morgan now steps up, and she's going to take a strike. So after issuing a walk, Lauren Melton's delivered 4 straight strikes ever since.
And this is up to the Lions. They just took Molly Schaefer, the pitcher for Emory, for 6 runs last game. No offense to Melton, she couldn't tie Schaefer's shoes. So they should be able to adjust to this hitter as they've already seen her once.
Morgan out towards short. That's going to go 6-4, and then no throw across the diamond after that.
Now batting the second baseman, number 15.
Newstroughton over to Singletary for that 6-4 fielder's choice there. So Morgan's going to reach, but it's 2 outs now, and it's going to bring up the 9-hitter senior second baseman TK Sauls.
TK has been a sight for sore eyes down at the bottom of the lineup, has been excellent, and actually this last series we had was the big RBI. Lady had an RBI to set up the game-winning walk-off hit for Caitlin Perry.
First pitch to Sauls, and again it's a strike, so Melton's really gotten into a groove here. Everything's over the plate, got to be ready to swing.
Yeah, this is up to the line. Start attacking these first pitches. She's putting them in good spots. She's not really picking corners early on. She is later in these at-bats, though, and she's getting those calls, Troy, like you're saying.
Sauls ready for the 0-1. There's another reverse jinx maybe, as Morgan's going to take second base on a pitch that I don't think it went but 10 feet.
Yeah, definitely slipped on the poor
definitely
girl.
slipped out of Melton's hand. So right. So I'm 1 for 1, or 1-1 now. I had one where I called it something good happening, and here I said Melton's been grooving, and that one just got away from her.
Yep.
And it skipped all the way into the plate.
Hannah Morgan's first steal of the year.
There we go.
How about it?
Good work from the sophomore catcher there. Good base running, too, to read that pitch that was well in the dirt and managed to move up as Sauls hammers that one just foul past the third base bag, and it's 1-2 now. 2 innings now, and again, runners in scoring position for the Lions. They're getting opportunities here against Melton. Now they got to try to finish them.
They had opportunities the last time, too. I think they had, 5 hits. They had a couple, like a walk or 2 on her. So they had runners in scoring position in the first, and I remember the 4th as well, and late in the game. Just could not cash in. Here we go, Troy, like you're saying. Need to hit pay dirt.
The 9-hitter Sauls readies, and she flails at that one to stay alive, and she does, as she fouls that one back behind home plate. Good piece of hitting there from the senior. Didn't like the pitch, a little out front on it, but managed to get some aluminum on it and stay alive.
They're made of aluminum? The bats?
I know they're not wood.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure,
Okay,
but pretty sure isn't sure.
Okay.
The Tracy Morgan commercials. Is that Rocket Mortgage? I think it's Rocket Mortgage. Yeah. No free ads. Sauls fouls one straight back up over our press box, and she stays alive yet again. Sauls a .313 hitter. playing really well here this latter part of the season in that 9-hole where she's been at from start to finish. There's been a handful of mainstays in this lineup, but the one that I think has been from game 1 to game whatever this is, it has always been Sauls. She takes that one up and away. Hannah Morgan scampers back to the bag there out at second. I think when she took that secondary lead, she lost her footing and then went into a panic mode and had to get back to safety.
Terry Martin did too. He looked at her and just gave her a straight look like, what are you doing? She got one stolen base.
Yeah, she just got her first stolen base, and now she's going to get aggressive out there at second. The pitch to Sauls is she's going to take it low and in, and it's called strike 3 on the inner half of the plate. So Melton again works out of some trouble and leaves a runner stranded in scoring position. No score after 2 between the Hawks and the Lions.
All right, welcome back to the WAC here. Troy Wyman alongside Mario D'Alessandro. I want to give it a shout out here to Drew Graham here at short. The junior has been playing behind Macy Allen the latter half of the season, but a nice job by Drew working hard at practice and is now in there in one of the most important, actually the most important game so far of this season. So Drew Fielding so far has 2 putouts at the 6th spot.
First pitch of the inning, McBrayer misses outside. That's Caitlin Caffey, first baseman for the Hawks.
8-9-1 here for the Hawks this inning.
Caffey swings at that one that was low and in over the top of it. It's going to go to 1-1. Caffey wearing number 35, batting .273 entering this game. She's played in 32 games and started all of them this season. Got 21 hits to show for it. Takes that one inside. Thought it might have clipped the jersey.
I saw it move, I thought. We won't tell them that.
No, I'm not going to say anything now, I guess. I don't have the greatest angle. I'm looking past this computer screen and through some glass and through a fence, so what do I know? This one's fouled down the third base line. Isley thought about making the play, but wouldn't have mattered anyway. She probably would have made it, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
The way she's played a really good hot corner this season, so I had no doubt she makes that throw across the diamond.
She's a gamer, Troy.
McBrayer sets, delivers, and that one's flown up over the first baseman, Taylor. It's just going to find no man's land out there in shallow right center field. That's going to be a base hit there for Caffey. Don't have to hit it hard. Just hit it where they ain't, and that one just floated over into that Bermuda Triangle, no man's land, whatever you want to call it.
I was going to call it the triangle, yep. Nothing you can do. Good pitch by McBrayer. Really jammed her in on the hands there. But Caffey just was able to take an inside-out approach and was able to just drop it right over the head of Taylor.
So the 8-hitter, Caffey, leads off the third inning with a base hit. That brings up Sydney Conville, the Hawks catcher, batting ninth here, who takes the first pitch she sees today up and out of the zone.
Conville known more for her defensive capabilities, has a pretty good arm behind the plate, so if the Lions decide to start running, you'll see that on display.
Conville batting .138 this season. Only got 4 hits, and she's only started 13 games, and she takes that one for a strike. So definitely the defensive catcher for this Hawks team for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was in the second game, but you will probably see a different catcher behind the plate as they use a different battery depending on who's out on the mound.
McBrayer sets and delivers that one up out of the zone. Haley League, I believe, is the other catcher.
That's it. Yep. Nice job.
I did that quick. I found that quicker than I thought I would. McBrayer gets the call on the upper part of the plate there. The 9-hitter Conville going to square a bunt with 2 strikes. Don't see that very often, but she tried maybe catching the Lions sleeping, not expecting a bunt with 2 strikes. But she bunted it straight back foul, so that's a strikeout swinging in your scorebook. 4 Ks for McBrayer now after that one. It's an important first out, though, after allowing a leadoff single to the 8-hitter with Caffey over there at first now. But an important batter coming up here with Stefankowitz.
Yeah, McBrayer probably going to try and work her outside so she gets something down to Isley, so she'll have a play either at second or first. Very important. Drew Graham right now barking out signals with TK Sauls on who's covering second, who's covering first, because you're seeing Sauls not in the pocket of McBrayer. It's instead Taylor in at first.
Yeah, different from what we saw that first at bat is that one's taken for a strike. Stefankowitz again, sort of, the slap hitter approach. You're not sure if she's going to just try to put a bunt down. She might swing full speed. You're not totally sure, but she's batting .414 entering this game, so she's had a lot of success. Again, looked like she was maybe going to bunt a throwback down to first. Not quite in time as Morgan tried to catch Caffey sleeping.
Haven't seen Morgan get one of those in a while, but has the best arm that I've seen come through Piedmont. Granted, I've only been here for 4 years.
4 years isn't. That's a full graduating class.
Okay.
Before COVID times, at least. That one lined and caught by Isley. Back to first. Double play. Caitlin Isley snagged that liner. Stefankowitz looked like she might have had an RBI double ticketed down the left field line, but instead it's Caitlin Isley at the hot corner and then across to Kara Taylor for the double play. Lions again work a clean inning, and they're going to bat in the bottom of the third when we come back. Bottom of the third inning here at the WAC on the campus of Piedmont College. Lions and Hawks tied at zeros in this game one of a best-of-3 divisional championship series. Winner, again, moves on to the conference championship series next week. So a lot on the line between these two teams as Stegmeyer Takes first pitch of the inning outside for a strike.
Hey, that strike zone keeps getting wider and wider on the outside of that plate. They're going to have to start sticking those bats out.
Melton has been hitting her spot. She's been living there, and now she's getting calls even farther out. Stegmeyer's going to hit that one out towards short. Nice diving play, but it's not in time back across the diamond.
She sticks it to the shift right there. Neustraten at third, just a little bit of a bobble, and was playing because they were shifting. And once again, they brought Singletary to the left side, and that's the right play on Stegmeyer. That's good scouting, but Stegmeyer, too much speed. If you have one bobble, good night, Irene.
Rebecca Stegmeyer, 2 plate appearances, 2 singles now, and both have come leading off an inning. So again, Lions, nobody out, runners on. Another scoring opportunity for this lineup as Caitlin Isley steps in. She's going to square to bunt. It's right back to the pitcher.
Beautiful.
Really nicely done there as Melton couldn't handle it. She was falling the opposite direction toward first. Isley's going to reach, and there's 2 on and none out.
All right, let's see if Terry Martin does the same thing. We will see. I mean, last time he bunts Perry here. First and second, nobody out there. Dangerous once again here, Troy. 475 hitter, the best in program history. Probably going to go down unless she drops her average by a lot. I think we were all talking up at the booth. We have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. As we kind of see what he was doing, but with KP here, I think let her swing away this time. Let the big dog eat.
Yeah, I think early in the game too. In the first inning, you go for it. You try to get some runs early. But now at this point, it's the same situation. 2 runners on, nobody out. Your best hitter, potentially and probably, if I may say so, the player of the year in the conference stepping up. I think you got to let her swing away this time. It was not the worst idea the first time. It didn't work. No big deal. Let her swing away this time. Big opportunity here for the Lions and Caitlin Perry as she takes the first pitch low and in for a strike. Not a bad take. Probably would have been a ground ball had she swung at it anyway. But again, big opportunity here for Piedmont.
Annie Nolan creeping in there at third. Neustraten did not have the wheel play on. Could have maybe taken it easily.
Perry fouls that one right back over at her dugout, and she's behind 0-2.
If you're KP here, I know you sacked him over to get last time second and third. If she cannot get a hit here, down 0-2 in the count, at least get something in play to the right side. At least try and get Stegmeyer to third.
Yeah, now down 0-2 in the count. You're not trying to do quite as much damage, but trying to move some runners and do a job here as Perry hits that one high and deep toward left field. But camped under it out there is Lydia Lewis. Tagging up and going to third is Stegmeyer. Good base running there. And Isley follows her over to second base. So just as I said, didn't really produce much there. If you're thinking Caitlin Perry, I was down 0-2 in the count. But a deep fly ball moves the runners. So again, you got two runners scoring position, only 1 out. Same situation as we saw in the first.
That's a professional at bat there, Troy. You're down 0-2, and you're just trying to lift something to the outfield. She was that whole entire plate appearance, but that's a great job getting a deep enough fly ball for Stegmeyer to move up, and Isley does as well.
I wasn't sure if Stegmeyer was going to try it with it being in left field, a shorter throw over to third base, but she's got enough speed. She's an experienced enough base runner. So I guess I shouldn't have been so surprised by that. As McBrayer squares to bunt, she does. It's picked up in fair territory. Whoa. It looked like it was going to go foul. Annie Nolan picked it up right on the chalk, and so McBrayer is going to have a bunt single, and that's going to load the bases.
I wonder what Terry Martin had called there. Was that like maybe a delayed move home by Becca, as Annie Nolan was probably going to pick that up? Obviously, she picks it up right at third base, so she couldn't go anywhere. But surprised, like you were saying, she grabbed that ball. It was going foul.
Yeah, not sure what the play was there. Just, maybe once the throw goes, Stegmeyer's got speed like we just mentioned. As Taylor swings at the first pitch she sees, it's out high and deep to left center field. They're giving chase. Oh. Unable to make the play is Lewis, and it's down. 1 run's going to score. That's Stegmeyer. Isley's going to get waved home. She scores, and that's a 2 RBI double for Kara Taylor to put the Lions up 2-0.
Big smack there by KT. Drew one out to left field. Lewis was playing very close to the line. That one went over by the 2005 GSAC sign, and that was only, not quite warning track, but about 5 steps in if we did have one there. Very good piece of hitting by Kara Taylor, and that's huge. The first 2 runs they've scored on Melton in the 9 innings that they've seen her this year.
Boy, that all changed in a hurry, too. There were 2 runners on. She had Caitlin Perry down 0-2. Looks like she's going to get some rhythm back and get out of that inning. And then 3 pitches later, you get within that 3 pitches, a sac fly to move runners over, a bunt single, and now a 2 RBI double. That changed quickly. So still a big opportunity for the Lions. They're not done here yet as Davis takes a strike.
And I was saying earlier, they were able to adjust to Emory's Madison Schaefer after seeing her for a little bit of time. It looks like they're doing the same to Melton here. The second time around the order, they have tagged her so far. 4 hits in the 5 at-bats and 1 deep sac fly.
Mackenzie Davis walked her first time up. Going to hit that one hard on the ground toward the pitcher. Melton wasn't sure where to go with the ball, and a run's going to score. She got turned around, wanted to throw to second, but there was no play at second with runners at second and third. And then behind her, without her knowing, McBrayer was able to get home.
Paralysis by analysis there, Troy. Now, you always say before the pitch is going to come, everybody shouts, all right, second and third, plays at home or first. She turned right around to immediately look at second, which, yeah, exactly is the thing. Is like you get the ball quick. Maybe I get 2 and can end the inning with a double play, but she's got to know situationally where she has runners there. And the Huntington coach immediately comes out to try and settle the troops. Piedmont up 3, and I said earlier, and I had the discussion with the coaches, they said, what was one thing, if you could do good today, that you'll win this game? They all said hitting. You're going to have that pitching. If we may have a couple errors, we can overcome that. They want to see that the hitting is good, and so far, 3 runs in 3 innings.
Boy, they've had it. They had a lot of opportunities in the first, too.
Mm-hmm.
We thought they were going to break it open then with the first 2 runners reached. Again, Stegmeyer and Isley, twice they've led off innings, and twice they've both reached. That set the table. Huntingdon managed to get out of it in the first, but not as lucky this time. And 3 Piedmont runs have come across, only 1 out in this inning.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I second-guessed it as soon as I said it, but only 1 out.
Yep. Like I said, the scoreboard off, so good job by Troy. Jogging his memory there.
Here we go. So Davis reaches on a single. I believe that will be ruled since there was no out on the play. So now there's first and third. Hannah Smith up to the plate. She's going to bunt. We got a pinch runner over at third base that we didn't see right away. That's Lexi Chitwood. Mm-hmm. She's in running for Kara Taylor, who delivered that big RBI double.
And with somebody who's a slapper up at the plate, look for Terry to go into his bag of tricks.
Yeah, a lot of speed over there with Chitwood at third now, the freshman. And another freshman at the plate, Smith, who's really good with the bat. She squares again and pulls that one back.
There's Mackenzie that rope steal again.
Davis out there dancing around between first and second, and that's a lot of teams scout that now. They know Terry. That's going to happen with the Terry Martin coach team, and they'll just let you take second.
It worked against Brevard one time. It didn't the first time. It did the second time, so he's going to keep trying to do it. You get a free base anyways.
Yeah, you might as well. If they're gonna give you that base, you take it. Smith takes that one. Called a strike again. That outer portion of the plate it's between the chalk. It's not really in the batter's box, but it's between the chalk and right on the black of the plate. Melton's been living there. She's been hitting her spots, and she's getting the calls.
I would live there too if I was Lauren Melton. Absolutely.
Throw it where they're calling it.
Yes.
Smith here again takes it outer part of the plate again.
That was in the box.
That's twice for Hannah Smith, though. She's been called out on strikes now in each of her last at-bats on very similar pitches on that outer part of the zone.
Yeah, she's got to learn from that. That one was even further out from what Troy was saying. That one clipped the batter's box, but you know what? You got to go to school. Just like Troy's saying, throw it to where they're calling it, and she's not living in the middle of the plate, which is a good job by her, but the hitter's got to start adjusting. Hannah going down twice looking.
Yep, that's a freshman there, though. That's an unfortunate. You're good discipline, not swinging at that. It's outside, but it's getting called, and you got to make that in-game adjustment. Yeah. Hannah Morgan now with 2 outs is going to take a strike here.
And you can live with that when you've scored 3 in an inning and your first base coach looks like a gladiator with all those Evo shields on his hand.
He's got 1-2 on his left, another one on his right, maybe 2 more on his right, John Winters. He looks like he's going to go skateboarding with Tony Hawk. That one's flown out toward left field. It's in no man's land, and that's another base hit for Hannah Morgan. 2 more runs score. Chitwood, the pinch runner, and Mackenzie Davis come in to score. It's 5-0 Piedmont in the bottom of the third.
That's 5 runs is more than they scored the entire first series against them. The Tides have completely turned from what we thought coming in. It was going to be a pitcher's duel. So far, 5 runs in 3 innings. Excellent job by these ladies. I said if they can hit, which they can hit against anybody in the league, it just matters if they bring their A game. They have today. You
mentioned it earlier. You talked to all 3 coaches of the Lions, and what they say was going to win the game.
It was hitting.
Hitting. They got to get hits. They got to put runs on the board, and they've done it. They've got 5 in this third inning now as Saul swings at the first pitch she sees way out toward right field. Just misses a home run off the top of the wall. Coming all the way around from first to score is Hannah Morgan, and TK Saul's fired up out there at second base. That's an RBI double. Piedmont on top, 6-0 now.
Wow, TK, a lot of pop from the bottom of the lineup, having a stellar senior year, her best average so far, came into the game 313. That's going to go up, so a good job by TK getting a 6 spot on the board. And you know what, did not expect to say this, but hey, let's keep putting up a couple more. Let's run roll them in the first one, Troy. What do you say?
Why not? I didn't expect that to happen in this game. Nope. Like we said, we were expecting a pitcher's duel. But, I mean, right now the Lions are up 6-0, and they're rolling.
I was even toying with the fact that they would pitch Melton both games because she was so good the first time around. But you know what? So far, the Lady Lions, they've got her so far.
Well, the Lions, they've batted around officially here in this third inning. Stegmeyer's back up for her second appearance, and that's so annoying for my scorecard purposes, but I'll figure it out.
Little tidbit here. Holly Sharp actually up in the bullpen for the Hawks, only in the third inning. Did not expect to say that either. She was the game 2 starter last time.
Stegmeyer fouled that one down and away. I'm distracted. There's a puppy being walked down the first baseline there. I was like, look, there's a dog.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Saul's the runner at second. Stegmeyer up. She hits that one foul down the left field line.
The Lions rise to the regional in 2019 when Becca was a freshman. She was a huge table setter that year, had a 300 average, was much lower in the beginning of the season, is at that 300 plateau now, so she's hitting stride right at the right time, Troy.
Batting .295 entering this game. She's 2 for 2, and she led this inning off with a single and fights that one off to stay alive over toward her dugout. Yeah, she started this season too. Stegmeyer did batting, I think, 8th, 9th or so down in the bottom of the order. But at one point, she was the only one hitting, and you got to put her at the top of the lineup, and she's had a stranglehold on that spot ever since.
Undoubtedly. Don't know what she has changed, but she's made an adjustment somewhere down the line. Good job on Becca's part.
Melton delivers this one. Lined past the third baseman, and that's into left field. Another run's going to come home. Saul scampers home. 7-0. Piedmont just pouring it on here in the third.
Pouring it on.
Just pouring it on
gravy,
in the third.
Baby, like turkey gravy.
That's run number 7. Gosh, we did not expect this. We just did not expect it after Melton was so good earlier this year against Piedmont and held them scoreless. But these Lions just, they had opportunities early in this game and didn't take advantage, but they didn't hang their heads on that early in that game. They've exploded for 7 runs here in the third.
Yeah, if we would have coordinated that, we would have done the 7. The little Friends reference there from Monica. But yeah, we were not expecting to call 7 of anything in this game. Maybe hits, if anything, for one team.
We're going to have a pitching change for the Hawks. We'll get that situated here in a second. We'll take a quick break. Piedmont on top 7-0 here, bottom of the third, and they're not done yet. Bottom of the third rolls on here at the Walker Athletic Complex. New pitcher for the Huntingdon Hawks, Holly Sharp, not Molly, replaces Lauren Melton. Going to try to get this a very important last out of the third inning, and she starts out with a strike to Caitlin Isley.
Yeah, we thought Sharp was going to be the pitcher in Game 2 as she was in the first series, as she went 6 2/3, 10 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. Not a walk or a K the first time these two teams met.
If you're just joining us, you just missed it. Piedmont just has put up 7 runs here in the bottom of this third inning, and they're not done yet. As Stegmeyer takes off for second, she's got a stolen base. That's her 11th of the season, and the Lions are going to try to add on, try to get in a very important 8th run here if she can.
Becca's going to have a nice report card today. 3 singles, a stolen base. Definitely has 1 run across so far for herself. Looking to try and get in for a second time.
Final line, almost the final line. Lauren Melton still responsible for Stegmeyer out there, but she gave up 9 hits, 7 runs to this point. She had 3 Ks and 1 walk in her time in the circle. Swing and a miss there from Isley. Holly Sharp comes in, throws 3 pitches, all for strikes, and gets out of that inning. So that will conclude Melton's day, but the Lions explode for 7 big explode for 7 big runs in the bottom of the third. They've blown this thing wide open. We've played 3. Piedmont on top 7-0 over Huntingdon. Top of the 4th inning here. Line shot right towards Stegmeyer. That's going to be out number 1. Hadn't even set the scene yet. That was Emma Bauer. Lines out first pitch of the top of the 4th to Stegmeyer. I'm assuming most of you know, but this is Piedmont softball. Piedmont College Athletics on the Main Event Broadcasting Network on YouTube. Here at the Walker Athletic Complex in Demorest, Georgia. Game 1 of a best-of-3 series between Huntingdon and Piedmont in the first round of the USA South Divisional Playoffs.
Don't know if you know this about Demorest, at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains here in North Georgia, and apparently it doesn't really get clouds either. Been a couple beautiful days.
Absolutely. McBrayer, the pitcher for Piedmont, misses that one outside to Huntingdon shortstop Emily Newstroughton, who doubled her first time up in the first. Absolutely gorgeous day here in northern Georgia, as you mentioned, Mario. McBrayer takes that one low and away. And I should mention again, I'm Troy Wyman alongside Mario D'Alessandro for this call.
Good pronunciation. That's a good announcer right there, folks. My name is not easy.
I called it. I said D'Alessandro a few times. Like, that's not right, bud. I got to correct it.
Yep.
McBrayer misses that one low and away.
Terry Martin having something to say in the dugout so far after those last 2 pitches, thinking they were clipping whatever his expanded zone is.
The 3-1 here. It's hit hard toward third. Isley down to a knee. She gloves it up and makes the play across the diamond. Very impressive play there at the hot corner. Caitlin Isley, she has been, I feel like a broke record. We've said this multiple times, a couple times I've been on. Isley has been great down at third base this season.
Sensational at that corner. Absolutely. Sensational sophomore, I'll call her. Caitlin Isley.
The sensational sophomore. I like it. Did you plan that one, or did you just come up with that?
Yeah, I planned that.
You could have lied.
That ain't my kind of nature.
Swing and fouled straight back into the catcher, Hannah Morgan. That's the DP, Hannah Vines. Morgan's going to walk that one off. I think she caught it right back into the chest protector.
Athletic trainer Adam Graham's going to come out just to check with student Max Miller. Adam rocking that safari hat. I'm a big fan of those.
I was going to say, we were just talking about John Winters, and he had the glasses. How about Adam Graham?
Yeah, Adam Graham with the safari hat, John Winters with the Pit Viper, and then going all gladiator with all the Evo shields. Some good looks out here today.
The Pit Viper's good. Right. And again, no free ads.
No free ads, but, I mean, if you're any of the dads listening here, you were ripping down Alpine in the 70s and knows with your very vibrant blue and pink jacket.
I think Hannah Morgan appears to be okay. Just maybe got the wind knocked out of her a little bit. I don't think it hit her anywhere. I think it hit her in the protection, but it was just fouled off enough that it, just probably didn't feel very good.
From knowing Hannah personally, she's country tough. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, she's fine. Oh, on the count here, 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. McBrayer misses up high to Hannah Vines. Piedmont on top, 7-0. Now in the top of the 4th, they just put up all 7 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. An absolutely huge inning for the Lions. They chased starter Lauren Melton out of the game and really changed the complexity of this game. Vines just taps that one down the line. It's going to stay. Oh, I don't know. Oh, they ruled it fair. Isley wisely let it go. She wisely let it go. She wasn't going to have a play.
Yeah.
And it just rested just right on the chalk. It must have just barely still been on the chalk.
Yep. Casey Kreitzberg down there was kind of yelling over to Vines like, hey, take second, while Isley was just looking down at the ball. I mean, they had it covered over there, but, maybe could have taken an extra back. But
she ran through the base knowing it's an infield hit,
yeah.
Trying to beat a throw, hypothetically.
Yeah.
But
that
must have just barely been on the chalk from where I'm sitting, and I'm sure they got it right. The umpires have a better view than I do.
Yeah, Troy, absolutely.
That one's lined and fouled down the third baseline. That's Molly Singletary. Gosh, that was exciting. I was like, it's going to go foul, and then it kicked back fair. I was like, no, it's going to go foul. And Isley didn't have a play. That was her best chance, was just letting it roll foul, and it just never quite did.
That was some mental ping pong there for sure.
McBrayer delivers a strike outer part of the zone that we've talked about multiple times already in this game.
Yeah, both pitchers, Melton and McBrayer, using the outside there. Melton's unfortunately came in a little bit too much in this pass inning and was gotten hit around. McBrayer still standing strong.
Changing up the pace there. Going to miss low and away. Tried to get Vines to chase that one, or Singletary rather, to chase and get out in front. Singletary struck out looking her first at bat. She takes that one well up and out of the zone, though.
Singletary did not play the first time that these two teams met, but does carry a nice 293, the senior does, coming into today's action.
2-2 the count, 2 outs, swung on, fouled over toward the Piedmont dugout. Again, gloved by Isley in foul territory. So we'll do that 2-2 tango once more.
Brett Loftus.
Speaking of Brett Loftus, I think he's doing play-by-play for baseball right now, if you tune to that on the Main Event Broadcasting Network. Last update I saw was a lot of offense in this game over just beyond the right field wall over at Loudermilk Field. McBrayer gets that one swung right back to her. Easy throw over to first base rather. And that's going to get the Lions out of the inning. They're going to come up in the bottom of the 4th inning, try to extend their lead. They lead 7-0 midway through the 4th. Caitlin Perry set to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning here for the Lions. Relief pitcher Holly Sharp skips that one in for a ball. Again, Sharp replaced Lauren Melton last half inning. Through 3 pitches, got Caitlin Isley to strike out and end what was a huge inning for the Lions, a 7-run third.
Ooh, did not get the outside call there. And then appeal down to first, also not granted.
Perry so far has got a sac bunt to her credit, so no official at-bat there in the top of the first. Yes, Caitlin Perry had a sac bunt earlier in this game. Don't see that very often. And then she flew out to the left field her last time up, but it moved a pair of runners into scoring position and really is what got that big the 7-run third inning started. So yeah, Caitlin Perry, no RBIs, but she's done her job, her 2 plate appearances so far today. Hard to imagine we had 7 runs in an inning and not one of those was an RBI from Caitlin Perry.
Wouldn't bet on that happening again.
No, she's going to take that one low and away, too. They wanted nothing to do with her here, and she walks to lead off the bottom of the fourth, that is. Piedmont has had a runner on base to start every half inning so far, assuming I've done my scorecard right, which might not be accurate.
I
had to flip over when you bat around the order and you got to scratch out the fifth inning and put the fourth. That's a whole thing.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure 4 innings, 4 runners have reached to lead off those innings for Piedmont.
If the Lions do score here, they could go up into the run rule category, where if then they would hold the Hawks in the top of the 5th inning here. If they score in the bottom of the 4th, game over and we go to game 2.
McBrayer took a strike to start her at bat here. She singled on a bunt her last time up. Eventually came around to score. Sharp misses low and away here.
It's important for McBrayer to, have a good showing in the first game, because it basically means that whenever they set the lineup for the second game, they're looking at how Emma is hitting in the first game to see if they want to hit her or possibly whoever's playing at short between Drew Graham or Macy Allen. So this is a little bit of a tryout for the lady.
McBrayer ready for this one. Swung on, hit toward first base. Good diving effort out there. That was Caitlin Caffey. No harm, no foul there. It was going to be a foul ball anyway. But Caffey really laid out for that one, trying to steal an out from McBrayer.
Almost yard sailed, too.
1-2 the count now to Emma McBrayer, batting cleanup today for the Lions. She's floated around that 4-5, maybe 6, depending on the lineup all season, but she's doing double duty, batting cleanup and doing the pitching. Takes that one low for a ball. She should have a pretty good sense of where the strike zone is, too, if you think of it that way. We usually say that a lot with catchers. They're behind the plate, they're getting the calls. But when you got a pitcher in the lineup, too, the outer half of the zone has been very favorable to the both pitchers, all 3 pitchers that have been in the circle in this game. So you hope to think that McBrayer's got that sort of in the back of her mind when she's up at the plate now.
Yep.
And there it was. She swung at that one. Couldn't do much with it over to first base. Quick snap throw over to the shortstop to get the lead runner. Nice play there by Caffey.
Yeah, very good heads-up play by Caffey. Could have tagged the bag and then went to second and then called tag for Neustraten, but instead goes to second for 1, and that was just the right play to get the lead runner there.
Absolutely was. And she was right there on that bag. If almost your instincts are to just step on the base, but very good instincts there to get the lead runner. Perry, a little bit of a better runner than McBrayer, too. McBrayer reaches now on a fielder's choice, and we've got a pinch runner for her.
Yep. Looks like that's going to be 11. I believe that's Hannah Calloway coming in. Usually the first option off the bench for Coach Terry Martin. Her or Lexi Chetwood is who they like to use. But Calloway and Chetwood, 1A and 1B as base runners here on this team, both with prolific above-average speed.
Chetwood's already been used. She was in for Kara Taylor, who steps in now. Taylor had a big 2 RBI double that started all the scoring in that last half inning for the Lions. Chitwood ran for her and eventually scored as well. So Calloway, the pinch runner now for McBrayer over at first base. 1 out away here in the Piedmont half of the 4th inning. As Taylor thought about swinging, didn't. Down to second goes Callaway. She's got a stolen base, and that's why you put her out there.
Yep, there's that good speed on display by Hannah Callaway. Very good jump, too. I had it out of the corner of my eye. Perfectly timed. Nice throw that was down there, too, by Conville. And we said it has a good arm, and that was a pretty good throw, but like I said, the jump was just a little bit better.
Runner in scoring position now here for Kara Taylor. Already 2 RBIs to her name. Could add another one if she fouls that one straight back into the fencing.
After getting a taste of that deep double that she had, I believe it was in that big third inning, she's really trying to pull the ball here. When the ball is going outside, especially with what is getting called today where they're using more than their fair share of the outside of the plate, you got to be able to go to right field with this.
That stolen base for Callaway was her 6th on 6 attempts this season as Taylor stays alive, fouls one straight back.
Baseball team on the other field, if you are kind of not familiar, has to have one of these games against LaGrange today down right now in the 5th inning, 10-5.
Yeah, definitely a lot on the line over there at Loudermilk Field. Facing off against LaGrange as Taylor rips that one down the left field line. That's going to be...
That's going to hit chalk. Yep.
Haven't seen a signal. Oh, my goodness, it's a foul ball.
Wow.
I don't know. I cannot quite tell from here. I thought it was on the line.
I thought it was,
but
too.
When the 2 umpires turn and look at one another and say, are you going to make the call? Yeah. I thought you were going to make the call. That's where Terry Martin's over there pleading his case. That's the frustrating part, is that they didn't know who was going to make that call.
Yeah, and Terry's going to ask for a little bit of help from the home plate umpire, who got out, to his credit, from behind the catcher, so he had an angle as well. And if this just goes down at a hit, I believe it would... what do they score it there, Troy?
I mean, they ruled it a foul ball, but if they reverse it, I think...
Because she'd have had 2 bags there, and Callaway would have scored.
I don't even know if you can. I don't know what the procedure is there. My instincts tell me that it's two bases, I guess, yeah. But then that gives Piedmont a run.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine the Huntingdon staff or players would be happy with that. Right. I don't know if it was a fair ball or not. It was really close.
Yes.
But it's the moment of confusion between the umps that's a little bit frustrating.
I agree.
But as it stands, it's a loud foul ball for Taylor, and she fouls another one out of play over toward the first base dugout. That's
a much better swing that she had on the outside plate than the one she had earlier in the at-bat. Looking to go away whenever Sharp does get that ball out there.
But regardless of that last play, whether it was fair or foul or not, Kara Taylor's been on it so far today. She's fouled, I think, 4 pitches off now in a row. She's seeing the ball well. She's hitting it where it's pitched. And she's trying to add to our RBI total as she takes that one up and out of the zone. Runner takes off. It's another stolen base for Hannah Callaway. She came in for Emma McBrayer. She stole second. Now she steals third. She's 6 for 6 on the season. 7 for 7 now, actually.
Very aggressive there by Callaway, taking third with only 1 out. You love that because then a sac fly gets you that all-important 8th run. And that is huge, especially, say, maybe Tina Malik falters in the second game. That'll keep McBrayer fresh.
Hard hit ball out towards second, and it's off the glove, and the stolen bases are going to work. Callaway comes home. That's going to probably be ruled an error on Singletary at second. Kara Taylor going to plate another run. And the Piedmont's up 8-0. That all-important 8-run rule is in effect here in Game 1.
Yes, it is. And when you're going to go to the second game, even if you have to go to Game 3, because you figure when your season's on the line, you're probably going to go with your ace. So Melton may come back and see some action in Game number 2. And we'll see what is the actual real Lauren Melton, the one that we saw earlier in the season or the one we saw in Game 1 here. You'll imagine you'll probably see her, but if you can keep Emma McBrayer fresh, only throwing 5 innings, you have 3 options to go with her, Whiteside, or Malik if Malik does not do as well to start this game. 2.
Yeah, plenty of options down there in that Piedmont bullpen. Or I guess technically in the dugout. It's not like this is a major league park.
Yeah.
They're not out beyond the left or right field walls. But Hannah Callaway, pair of stolen bases, then comes in. That one was ruled a base hit, and I think that's probably fair. Taylor hit that thing on the screws.
Yes.
That brings up Mackenzie Davis now, swings at the first pitch.
Taylor was the only regular that did not have a hit in the first meeting against these two teams. Definitely is feeling vindicated after having a 2-for-3 day so far.
Thought about bunting, it looked like, but she pulled it back. Kara Taylor finds her way back safely to first base. A little tap of the helmet there from John Winters.
She did an inchworm back into the bag.
I think that's what John Winters was smiling about there. Gave her a little tap on the head like, it's okay, nobody saw that. But we did.
Pit Viper Gladiator himself down there.
Davis swings at this one. It's hit off of her in the batter's box, though, so that's a foul ball. 7 runs last inning, 1 this half inning. Piedmont's up 8-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Not quite done here, though. Only 1 out and a runner on. Trying to extend their lead. Already up 8-0. 8-run rule is in effect now. If they can work a clean top of the 5th inning, that'd be a very important, very convincing win in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Good eye there by Davis, taking that one low and away.
It'd be good for their psyche, too, because they came out of that series knowing they had probably their if you give them a grade, their D game. But they came out with a split. You're like, yeah, that's great, but you'd really like to know if you have the mental edge on this team. Right now, it's undoubtedly Piedmont has the mental edge of the better team on both sides of the ball.
They've absolutely flipped the script here in this game as Davis fouls that one out of play down the right field line. If you're not familiar with the history of these two teams this season series, they played once during the year. That was on April 11th. They played a doubleheader right here at the Walker Athletic Complex. Lauren Melton, who started today for the Hawks, she started Game 1 in that one as well. Shut the Lions out. It was a 1-0 win for Huntingdon, but the Lions rallied back in Game 2, scored 2 runs in the last inning of that game to win it and walk it off. As this one, nice play over there by third base. That's Annie Nolan to glove that one and get the lead runner, Taylor.
We expect that from Nolan. Good sure-handed third baseman. We have 2 of those in the game today, as we were saying earlier, with Isley already making a couple nice gems down there at the hot corner. But Annie Nolan has a spectacular first series and is already doing well here in game number 1 of this series.
5-4 fielder's choice here in your scorecards. I started talking about that series, and I pulled a Michael Scott. I started a sentence. I didn't really know where I was going to go with it, and I didn't know when to stop. Hannah Smith's going to dig in now from the right side of the plate.
Yep, she definitely can do that. Hannah Smith is a ambidextrous hitter, can slap, but also this is her power side, who I have seen her in batting practice one hop the wall, so she has power from this side and can be very, very effective.
She just took a strike on the outer half of the plate, and maybe that's part of why she's flipped over too. She's got 2 backwards Ks in the scorecards today, all on pitches that were on that outer part of the plate that she didn't pull the trigger on, so maybe just trying to mix things up here, and she takes that one out way outside for a ball.
They say the best hitters in baseball do not make adjustments game to game or really at bat to at bat. It's pitch to pitch, and she's proven that she's able to make an adjustment here, at least at bat to at bat. And we'll see if you can do the same thing on pitch by pitch.
Yeah, it was tough for the freshman, which I mentioned earlier. Her discipline was probably there. Those pitches, I think, were just off the plate, but when they're getting called, you got to swing. And she does there. She knobs one over toward the first baseman. That's Caitlin Caffey. Picks it up, steps on the bag, and that ends Piedmont's half of the 4th inning. But they played at a very important 8th run of this game, going to the top of the 5th. If they can get 3 quick outs, that'll be a Game 1 victory for the Lions. We'll be back for the top of the 5th.
And Lydia Lewis.
Top of the 5th inning here at the Walker Athletic Complex. Game 1 of this divisional championship series between the Hawks of Huntingdon and the Lady Lions of Piedmont. First pitch to Lydia Lewis is bunted foul. Piedmont leads 8-0, so this is essentially a do-or-die situation for the Huntingdon. Well, not essentially. It's a do-or-die situation. Hawks have to score at least one to keep this game alive, or else Piedmont's going to have an 8-run rule victory in Game 1. As McBraer's 0-1 delivery misses just low, and it evens it up at 1-1.
Like Lewis's at bats in the series that we've had before, I feel like we haven't really seen the Hawks hitters because Piedmont's been up to bat so many times, already batted almost around 3 times, still haven't got through half of the order for Huntingdon yet.
No, not yet. Lewis swings through that one as she tried to get a running start.
I mean, and this will happen. You're going against a staff this year that has a combined, 1.62 ERA. Like, that's just silly for one pitcher, let alone your staff. So you got to be expecting that if you're Huntingdon, that you're going to play some low-scoring games, but you got to be able to limit the damage yourself.
Lewis takes that one out of the zone for a ball. She's 0 for 1 on the day, struck out looking her first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. It was the 2nd consecutive backwards K for McBraer to start that inning. Takes another one up and out of the zone. It runs the count full. Got that. She's got the hand separated grip like the Ty Cobb or the TK. We see TK Sauls do it.
Yeah. TK does it to a prolific 315 batting average.
And she does it from the right side, which
Yes.
is, I think, a little bit odd or a little less conventional. And there's Sauls right there. We're talking about her, and the ball finds her. Grounder to second. She was playing that one perfectly well even with the circle there. And that's going to go down as a 4-3, very important first out of this 5th inning.
Yeah, positioned very well there, right in the hip pocket of McBraer. Typically with a slapper, you'll bring your third baseman in. You can bring your first baseman, but it's a lot easier because it's so hard for those lefties to really drag it that far down first. So it's better to bring that second baseman in. Good job there by positioning, and good job by TK.
Yep, they had that one scouted perfectly, and the sure-handed senior second baseman made the play. Annie Nolan, the third baseman for the Hawks, took the first pitch she saw up and out of the zone. So she's up 1-0 here as McBraer brings that one home, and it's called a strike on the outer half of the plate.
We were talking about that team ERA. It was 1.62. It's nice when your worst is a 4.5 for Shaylin Sutton. Limited work, so one run really raises that up, and I'll tell what the other ones are after this pitch.
Absolutely. This one's hit high out towards center field. Stegmeyer didn't have to move very much, and she camps under it. That's the second out of this inning. And to your point there, Sutton, she's only pitched 9.1 innings, so any run you give up, that's really going to be high, and she's pitched just, barely over a game and a half or so total this season.
Yeah, and did well against Emory. She came in a couple clean innings there, which is very, very telling of what Shaylin Sutton has in the tank. But if your third worst pitcher is Martina Malik with a 1.54, you're in a good stance. Evan McBraer with a 1.39 and Madison Whiteside a .76.
Third worst pitcher in terms of ERA.
Yeah.
Malik has a chance to be pitcher of the year in the conference. So she's definitely not the third worst pitcher. We're just talking numbers.
and I think the general sentiment will be if you have a one-game do or die, obviously you're going to read off of the opponent's lineups, but I think Malik would be the pitcher they would go with.
It's a good problem to have when you have to choose which pitcher you want to go with, though, that's for sure. As Caitlin Caffey swings through that one. I think it was fouled back, actually.
It was, yep.
The Hawks are down to their final out, and it is Caffey. First baseman for the Hawks. She's 1 for 1 on the day. She had a bloop single her first time up, out toward first base into shallow right field. Swings over the top of that one, and they're down to their final strike. McBraer ahead in the count 0-2. Boy, it'd be important for Piedmont to get the win in this game after they're facing Melton, who we mentioned, who shut them down the first time they played this season. I thought it's very possible that this first game could go to Huntingdon. Yeah. But we'll see here as this one's grounded out toward third. Isley fields, throws, and that's the ball game. Piedmont, all they do is win. If you can hear the music playing, Christian Castro, our DJ out there. Very important Game 1 win for Piedmont. A 7-run third inning really got things going. They got one more in the bottom of the 4th, and they're a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 5th. Locks down a Game 1 victory. 8-0 Piedmont over Huntingdon.
Convincing. They did everything right. Not even an error for a team that last time had 9 against this Huntington squad. Hit the ball all over the diamond and pitched perfectly, which that was the same since the first, but they cleaned up those other 2 areas and really had a convincing win. And I'm going to give a little shout out to Mike Lane, the Penguins announcer who I emulate, he says, let's go hunt moose on a Harley. Well, today they hunted hawks in a hammock. Double barrel, baby.
Hunting the hawks in a hammock?
Yeah.
That sounds so chill. You're just laying back.
That's how that game was, too.
I mean,
that's why it fits. So it came to me in about the top of the fourth. I was like, man, they look relaxed. They're playing this game easily. Let's hunt hawks in a hammock.
I like that. Then they did. And Piedmont, once they got out and going, they really jumped on them. So that's a big victory there for the Lions in game one. Emma McBrayer, again, I feel like we didn't really talk much about Emma McBrayer because it was all about the offense in this game, but she was great. I thought she was really good in this game.
Perfect. 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts, not a walk. Pretty much a perfect performance from what Emma is known to be, which is effectively wild. Today she was just effective. There was no wild to her game. A glistening final line for that lady.
And the big one there, no walks. Beginning of the season as a freshman, she was struggling with a lot of walks, and she's not really a strikeout pitcher yet. That's just not who she is. But the walks needed to be cut down. Her last 4 outings at Wesleyan, 1 walk. Home against Agnes Scott, none. At Emory, none. Today, none.
Perfect.
3 straight outings with no walks. That's huge for the freshman.
You typically expect growth like that through your years, not in your first year. So the young lady progressing exceptionally for Terry Martin.
Absolutely. Great first game here for Emma McBrayer and the rest of the Lady Lions team. Kara Taylor delivered the biggest hit of the game, I think. It was a big 2 RBI double in the 3rd inning that got the scoring started, and the floodgates were open from there. Piedmont wins Game 1 in 4.5 innings. It's an 8-0 final. Game 2, probably about 20-30 minutes or so from now. Stick around with us. You're listening to Mario D'Alessandro, and I'm Troy Wyman. Piedmont College Athletics on the Main Event Broadcasting Network on YouTube.